aside, it was up to Deontay Wilder your next 3 fights. Deontay Wilder should be in the ring. Here are the 3 guys you taking on.
Dillian Whyte. I want Dillian Whyte, and I want Dillian Whyte. This time. Nah, let me start. He has been been a certain time. It's like, man, the dude obsessed with me, man. He feel like we went together and we had a bad breakup. He can't get over me. I had some good pussy or something. I don't know. No homo.
Those are the words of Tyson the Gypsy. Those are the words of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, as he explains that Dillian Whyte, he says that he pretends that Dillian Whyte's obsessed with him. And he pretends that he acts as though they went together, went to school or something like that, and he got some good P-U-S-S-Y. No homo. That was funny. It was funny, you know what I mean? I can add to that. It would be the worst piece of pussy you ever had, you know? But anyway, me counterpunching that, he was asked, and this is a fight that I've always wanted to see. Of course, these guys have been beat this year. And that is a fight that I think that should happen. And for that reason, Deontay Wilder is a prime example. Dillian Whyte is a prime example of why, or a prime example opponent of Deontay Wilder. And it shows that Deontay Wilder needs to stay in the game and see what he can do with the rest of these opponents. Because if you really look at someone like Dillian Whyte, someone like a win over Dillian Whyte could really boost his profile. And vice versa. If Dillian Whyte beat Deontay Wilder, it could boost both of them. So it's a make or break kind of fight if they did fight. Both were very high ranked. One was a champion, the other one was an interim champion. So they had the same damn belt, basically. I don't know how much the sanctioning fees were for the champion versus the interim champion, but they were high on the totem pole with the WBC. And they had collision. They have that backstory. They have bad blood. They talk smack about each other. Dillian Whyte more so for Deontay Wilder. That's why Deontay Wilder, in fact, says, hey, you know what? This guy is possessed with me. He thinks we went together back in the day and this, that, and the other. And, and it seems like he can't keep his name out of his mouth. Now, let me counterpunch. The same energy and the same things that Deontay Wilder is saying about Dillian Whyte, I got to keep it real. Okay. I think the same energy is for Tyson Fury. I think that the last 2 years, Deontay Wilder has acted as though him and Tyson Fury had some type of shit going on. No homo. Right? And if it is, who cares? It looks like they had some type of relationship where they could freeze out other fights. They could only fight each other. They only had themselves to deal with themselves. See, that type of stuff. And it seems like, look at last year. What didn't Wilder seem obsessed with fighting Fury? Think about it. Everything Fury did, his wins, his losses, his even the amount of people in the crowd. Okay, it resulted in something that Deontay Wilder took credit for. So he was obsessed with fighting, right my wrongs. He was obsessed with fighting, even though in this same interview, he admits, or he claims rather, I knocked out Tyson Fury. Well, if you knocked him out, move on. But he couldn't move on. Okay, and that's the difference. You fought Tyson Fury already. So that's something you actually had. So if it's in comparisons to P-U-S-S-Y, he must have had some bomb P-U-S-S-Y. Dillian Whyte ain't never had nothing. Ain't never had none of you. You never stepped in the ring with Dillian Whyte. I think that's what Dillian Whyte really wants, more than anything, his right to fight you in the WBC. But then, of course, now the belt's changed. But the thing is, I am interested to see, Deontay Wilder's desire to fight Dillian Whyte now. That's a good fight that could happen. And I would love to see that fight, because that fight would be bad blood written all over it. It could end up like a Wilder versus Stavern 2, or it could end up like Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte 1. It could be just a slugfest where both guys hit the canvas or what, this, that, and the other. It could be a very good fight. And that's the fight that I think Wilder, he's calling out. And I like these call outs. And you know what? If we're going to get these type of fights, him calling out Andrew Ruiz, him calling out Dillian Whyte, if we're going to get him calling these guys out now, I'm glad he lost the fucking belt. Counterpunch, because now we're actually seeing someone else besides the guy that you were quote unquote obsessed with. Right? And that was Tyson Fury. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Deontay Wilder saying that Dillian Whyte's obsessed with him. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys be Counterpunch. Peace.